Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me and co-creating with me on this beautiful Monday night. I am so glad that you are able to be here with me and sharing the experience that we have with higher dimensional beings, extraterrestrial beings, masters, ascended masters, gods, goddesses, angels, whatever you want to call them. They're out there in the higher dimensions, and they want to communicate with us and help bring light, balance back into this realm. So thank you very much for being here. Greetings to everyone that has joined us so far. Thank you very much. So for the old hats, you know who I am, you know what I do. I am basically a biological transmitter, if you like, and I use my language set and skills and the knowledge that I have in terms of communication to speak with all of you, because of course telepathic communication is a real thing, and they are communicating telepathically. And when and we also have the ability to communicate telepathically. So what I do, I'm not the only person that can do this. Everybody actually has the ability, just like everybody has the ability to do almost anything that they want. It's a skill, and it is something I'm passionate about and enjoy doing, and want to bring light into the world, balance into the world. So that's why I do what I do, to help everybody on the path of discovery, self-love, empowerment, self-empowerment, and really just building a community, a circle of like-minded individuals who want this for everyone, who want to be part of the human evolution and earthly evolution that's taking place. So here we are. Thank you very much. Hi, Simone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for everybody that's here. Okay, and without further ado, I think we can get started. I just want to introduce my husband for those of you that don't know him.
Hello.
I just want to push this heater out of the way. There you go. It's not even on. So my husband Anthony joins me every Monday night. He just kind of helps me to keep things running smoothly, the practical things. Hello, humans and extraterrestrials, you're all welcome. Hello, Melo. He just basically reads everybody's questions and helps me coordinate things so that I don't have to employ that part of my mind. I can focus on the higher part of my mind and higher frequencies that I'm busy tapping into. Okay, so we're ready to get started.
Yes.
With Karen. Higher self, Karen. Okay. I will try and connect to Karen's higher self, and then Anthony will tell me what she's asking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just quickly before I begin, just for those of you that are new, so the first three people that we help are the people with 3 pink hearts. If there's time or we feel the need, we do more than 3. So it kind of depends on time. And I kind of divide this space up into approximately half of it for more personal issues. Sometimes, often the personal issues that people are asking about really helps all of us. So we all learn from it anyway. And then I try to divide a half or a certain portion of the channeling as well for information for the human collective here on Earth, or for the whole group of us, if we can put it that way, the circle, so that we can learn information about the goings on in the world and what's happening in fifth dimension at the moment, what's happening in third dimension at the moment, the bridge, and all the different things that we are discovering. There's more and more things and facts that are being disclosed. And this is just another avenue in which we can explore that information that is available to us within the universal collective. Okay, so thank you very much. All right, so with other words, first three is usually more focused on personal, and then whoever else has questions for the collective, we will ask the ones that seem most appropriate. All right. Cool. Okay, Karen. Karen. It just says Karen. So I don't know which Karen it is, but that does not matter because I am connecting with everybody's higher selves right now. That is part of this circle, including Anthony's. Is it this? It's the laptop that's making such a loud noise. Sorry. A bit distracted by this fan. Just inviting everybody's higher selves and guides, highest, purest energies to come through into this space. Thank you for the angels that are holding space right now, those higher light beings, light energies. Thank you for creating this safe space for us all to be in. And thank you for allowing me to use this gift and for giving me the extra tools that I need as well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hello, Karen, Anthony, and everybody else.
Hi, I've got some questions from Karen for you. The first question is, how can I be a better human?
This question is actually so appropriate, not only for you and for your growth, but also for everybody's growth, because the same answer truly applies to everybody. And the only truest, most effective way to be the best human you can be is to love yourself. It's truly to learn more about who you are, how you function, what you truly are as a human being, as a starseed, quite possibly. In your case, Karen, understanding more about your starseed heritage and just understanding who you are and why you're here. And of course, accepting all of that and accepting who you are, exactly how and where you are right now, because the game is being played right now. Fifth dimension is where time does not exist. You know you're in fifth dimension when time does not exist. So going into fifth dimension and really connecting with your higher self, with me, and allowing yourself to really fall in love with you, with who you are, with no limits to that, with no shame or guilt or fear connected to that, but just really connecting to yourself. And in turn, as you connect to yourself and love yourself, you cannot help but love source energy, the multiverse, all of creation, because once you understand who you are, you're intricately connected and completely part and parcel of all that is. So in that, in knowing yourself, in loving yourself for who you are, you also understand everything else. So it always starts with you. You are your own example, and flow with that. Flow with who you are, where your energy leads you, and where your heart leads you. And love really is very central to becoming a better human being. It's not about just sacrificing yourself for the better good and for everybody else, but truly learning how you tick and who you are, and loving yourself, letting that higher frequency energy spill over and into you, and then it overflows and just raises everything around you as you raise your own frequencies. And love, pure unconditional love, is the highest frequency, purest frequency, purest energy there is. So that is truly the key. And love is also the key to, just as your heart chakra is the key in your energy system and where you can connect with 0 point energy, love is part of that. That is why that's why your heart chakra is so important. That's why your heart chakra is in the center. I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if you need any more clarification.
Thanks.
Or have more questions.
Thank you. I'll see if she comes back with a follow-up on that. But the second question is, how will the new farm venture work out with like-minded souls?
So I would like to just make sure that you understand both the positive and negative aspects of this venture. In the positive aspect, overall, it will run smoothly and go well. And no matter what you have to go through and what obstacles you may face and what challenges they may be, it will ultimately work out as it should. But just as with any new kind of venture, a new, completely different way of living and being, completely different to how you've been brought up in a certain sense. But also in terms of it being part of the newer way, the better way of doing things. There will be a lot of little hiccups, things that come in the way, things that will help you to grow. So those obstacles will be there, those challenges will be there, and certainly within the community there will be disagreements, there will be woundedness within people that will need healing. And that is truly very much an important part of having this kind of venture, is that it is important to understand that each person has a journey, has their own wounds, have their own healing that needs to happen. And the human side is just as important as all the other parts, the environmental side. So really it has to be about balance in terms of spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. There has to be everything. Not just in terms of every human, but in terms of the whole way that everything is run. There has to be space for all of it, and for everybody's different beliefs, whether the beliefs that they have or programs that are running which are not serving them and not serving everybody, or whether it is something that does serve everybody and everybody's highest good. So these are all things that will need to be sorted out and that will be worked through. But to approach it with love, understanding, compassion, and also there will always have to be certain rules and certain things that everybody agrees to, and truly being community in that sense. So I hope that makes sense to you, the way that was explained to you. But overall, it's definitely in line with me, with your higher self. It's definitely part of your path, the one that you want to truly explore. And of course, you're still running some of your own programs that need to be cleared and renewed and refreshed and recalibrated. So the hiccups will be there, but it's all part of the journey.
Great, thank you very much. She says thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
White Rabbit.
Hi, Miriam.
Info from the guides.
Any specific guides that you want to hear from, or just whoever? Okay, I'm getting the answer anyway from you. Maria, I think we're starting to get the telepathic communication right. Okay, so from whoever will be best for that. Oh, the noise is gone. Thank goodness. Okay, which of Maria's guides would like to step forward to answer this question? The highest, purest energy. I'm just doing a little security check quick on this being. I think Emery Smith has made me very wary of who I'm channeling. So I'm just making very sure. Okay. All right, we have an amazing being here. That's someone that has signed up to be one of your guides. Don't ask me names or pronunciations or anything, because there isn't really anything for. Hang on. He's showing me something. Okay. Okay, he's saying just call him XXO. I don't know if that has any specific meaning for anybody. But it's kind of, I get the idea that it's a kind of a short or some kind of code name almost for this being of yours that is guiding you. It is an extraterrestrial being, very tall, and wearing a special suit. And I'm just really amazed that I'm interested in this. This is why I'm sharing it. It's not because it's important. It's just for a person like me, coming into contact with one of these extraterrestrial guides is really exciting. So I'm just wanting to share with you. I don't know where he's from, but it is an aquatic world, and he definitely speaks only telepathically. Okay, and that's all the information I have on this being. Sorry that I don't always go into so much detail with someone's guides, but it was very interesting. All right, let him come through. XXO. I think there's much more to it than XXO. That's just what I'm getting. Hello, greetings. Thank you so much for letting me come through and speak to you today.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, Maria's got a question for you. She asks, what information do you think is best for me to know right now?
The most important thing for you to understand right now about where you are finding yourself and the lessons that you have been learning and all of the things that you are experiencing is that this is all part of the training and the education and the learning that you need to prosper in that which you have chosen to come and experience here. There's so much more still to your experience here on Earth. There's so much more still for you to explore. You're going to have a very full, rich life, full of many different kinds of experiences, many different encounters. So all of what you're experiencing is just really to help you to start opening your mind more and more to what's out there and what's available. You are also you also wanted to be a contact for others of your race, if I can put it that way. Your and when I say race, I'm not talking about your earthly race. I'm talking about part of what you're part of universally. So you really are going to act as a teacher and a spokesperson to so many out there. And it's really just about letting you know that this is all preparation for all the different experiences and things you will experience. And but the most important thing is not to get ahead of yourselves as to where you're going to, all the things that you've signed up to experience. It's not really so much about that. What it is about, though, is about the right now. Just learning to control. And this is why you've been thrown in the deep end. It's learning to control the dimensional space that you're in, the frequency that you're in, really preparing you to be able to dial up or dial down the frequency that you need to be functioning in, no matter what circumstance or environment you find yourself in, so that you can communicate the way you need to. And very much part and parcel of learning telepathic communication, and also teaching that to others. So for now, it is important that you are learning to be in the moment, learning, because that is how you also jump dimensions, is learning to be in that space where it is time is no longer relevant, and to be able to connect to whichever frequency you need to. This is also partly why Michelle is mentoring you and teaching you right now, because you need the information that she's got to help you on that path to also become a teacher in that sense. So learning to be in the moment, learning to be happy with who you are and what you can do, and realizing that there is more to your life, is so much bigger than just the bubble you're finding yourself in right now. There's so much more for your consciousness to experience and to learn and to teach as well. So just being happy with where you are, being happy with how far you've come, because you're going in the right direction. Integration will become easier and easier the more you don't limit yourself, the more you allow yourself to grow. But also just in listening and having balance and having discernment. Balance as in rest when you need to rest, and keep practicing those frequencies. Stepping out of 3D and coming into 3D and integrating and kind of repeating that and becoming so used to it that you can do it seamlessly.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to see if she has any follow-up questions.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a minute or so.
It's a good thing these sessions are recorded.
There we go. Okay, so she has replied. Okay, that makes sense. I have a short question. Does my cousin find my presence bothersome? Like, does he want us to stop talking?
Yes and no. Mostly yes, but because you are creating a mirror for him, that is making him very uncomfortable. Her very uncomfortable. Sorry. Is it a her we are speaking about? it's not really relevant.
To him.
It is a him, okay. So he is uncomfortable because you're starting to bring up questions for him, which he has had, but has been too scared to admit even to himself. So you are also showing things that he's questioning in his life and his world that is making him uncomfortable, because change is scary, and to think that there's more out there and more going on is scary, and it's making him very uncomfortable. So it's not you per se, it's not a personal thing, it's just more what you have been showing him, even when you're not talking to him about anything specific necessarily. It is your presence is making him uncomfortable because it's making him question things and realize things. So what he needed to learn from you, he has already learned from you. So you can still be kind and civil and just keep being loving in your own way, but you do not have to have many conversations or anything anymore. You just have to be you. You just have to be yourself and do what you do. Do your journaling, do your whatever you're doing. Just be you and do your thing. And without saying anything, it will reinforce things that you've spoken about and things that he has thought of and information that he's been getting, but questioning because, of course, that's not scientific and that's not how things work or how the world works, or, because of the limiting beliefs that he is in. He's starting to break free from those, and it can be a very scary process when you're at that place. We're standing at the precipice of change. So just be patient and speak through love when you do, and be there if he has questions, but don't force your company on him, if that makes sense. Just read the mood, if you like. Just use your intuition. You don't always have to say something. You can just go about your business and it will be enough. Hope that makes sense.
Okay, thank you very much.
The seed has been planted.
I think just do another half minute search, see if she comes back with any follow-ups. There we go. Thanks so much. I really need this today. That is all I have for today.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, great. Thank you. I guess I don't need to see. I don't know what the point is of putting my glasses on every time.
No, it's good because I want to ask something now. So the third person is Cherise, but she's just asking for a message for the collective for the week.
Okay, so we can move Cherise's question on.
No one else with pink hearts has asked a personal question, but
okay.
Lisa has got a personal question. Perhaps she just asked the pink heart part, so we can do hers.
Okay, Lisa.
I'm guessing higher self would be good. Want to know.
Or anyone who wants to come through for, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. All right, whoever can answer Lisa's question, whether one of her guides, her guides, or her higher self, or maybe one of her past other loved ones, ancestors, whoever would like to come through, the highest, purest mind, highest, purest energy for Lisa to answer her question. And then we're going to move on. And then we will move on to the questions for the collective. The human collective, the earthly collective. Okay, who wants to come through for Lisa? Hello, Lisa. Hello, everybody here. Thank you so much for letting me come through.
Hi. Could you tell us who you are, perhaps, so we know?
I am one of Lisa's spirit guides. I do not know if she's actually truly aware that I'm a guide. But I do communicate with her quite often, and she does listen even if she's not aware exactly of who it is.
Okay. Right.
So I am part of her maternal line. That's all that's really necessary to know.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Her question says, I would love to know if my new job is going to happen in the next month or so.
The preparations, the preparation that you need and for things to fall into place, the majority of that will be happening over the next month. It may take 1 to 2 months. So it might take up to 2 months depending on certain factors for things to be put into place. There are quite a lot of different things that are happening in terms of your own personal learning, in terms of the specific company you will be working for's growth, in terms of certain things around the energy within which you're working, the sector, the industry you're working in. So there's all kinds of different things coming together, but it will happen, and it will definitely be between a month or two. So it's really not that much longer, and it will work out the way it should. I hope you're happy with that and you understand that. Please let me know if you have need clarification on that.
Great, thank you.
But all will be well.
Thank you. Let's see if she comes back to us next half minute or so.
Patience is needed at this time. And trust. Especially in yourself. It will all be fine. It will all work out.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else coming through from her.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I hope that was clear.
No one's asked for anyone specific for collective, but
do you have anyone you want me to channel, Anthony?
No, I don't. I don't know enough.
I think in this case, I mean, honestly, there's so many we could ask, but in this case, I feel like I want to let whoever can answer the questions in the best way to come through. It probably will be one of my usuals. I can feel Morowell sitting there wanting to come and speak to you all. Melo wants me to channel his guide, JT. I'm just going to discern what to do. Melo, there's a much higher dimensional being that wants to come through, or higher dimensional collective that wants to come through. Is that okay? To answer all the questions for the collective. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's I've come to realize that the 11th, 12th dimensional, that's kind of the feeling that I get of who wants to come through. And when that kind of information comes through, I start understanding that so many of the higher dimensional beings are really trans-dimensional and not just, stuck in like one dimension, kind of like we are at the moment in our fake matrix, if I can put it that way. So even though that might be the energy that's coming through, that might be the majority of the time, the frequency that being is resonating at, but that is not to say that they can't travel trans-dimensionally. to connect with us. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to come through me right now, where I am. Okay. So it's kind of like we have to meet each other halfway. All right. So yeah, for sake of understanding, 11th density being, 11th to 12th dimensional, very much a big light energy, a big light being, if I can put it that way, or collective perhaps is maybe more appropriate. There's no name forthcoming right now. But I'm definitely picking up a lot of different signatures, energy signatures of many different kinds of beings. So it's not just one group, it's more like a variety of energies, let's put it that way, but very much light energies. Okay. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for allowing me to speak in this way. It is very unusual for me to communicate in this way. I do it usually more in the form of telepathic communication. I don't often come through in such a physical way. But because Michelle is able to raise her frequencies to this level, I'm able to come through and communicate with you in this way. It is an honor for me to be here, and I enjoy learning, playing, experimenting with you, and sharing with you what you need, or what we feel you need to ascend as a human race, ascend as a collective, and really help in Earth's evolution and your own evolution, so that you do not have to be stuck here anymore. The most important message I would like to start with before I listen to your questions is for you to really understand this thing of loving yourself so that you can love your neighbor. Because when you love yourself and you truly understand what that means, that's the only time that you can really start understanding unconditional love and operate at that higher frequency. That is how you learn unconditional love, by really connecting to your highest self and your highest frequency, which is your most loving, the most loving part of yourself. That is your highest frequency. And once you can understand that, you can tap into that unconditional love, which helps you get along with your neighbor. And not until Earth and Earthlings can get along with their neighbors and no longer want to bicker about small, inconsequential differences, can you evolve and move forward and be released from what is partially keeping you safe right now.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me come through.
Great. Jump right in. Cherise just wants a message for the collective for the week.
Okay, so it will be based on what I just told you. And the message for the week, if you want to just have a little chunk, just a little bit for the next little bit going forward, is to really allow yourself to let yourself be in control. And you can only truly do this by being disciplined. So self-discipline, I know that we have tried to send this message out before. Self-discipline really is a very high form of self-love. This is true. We want you to understand that message. And the reason that is because when you are self-disciplined in what you do that is good for you, you will allow yourself to have that experience which is best for you, as opposed to having a controlled experience that someone else is imposing on you. When you are in control of your experiences, then you can be truly free. Yes, it takes some work, but work is not freedom. Slavery is slavery, but when you're working for your own highest good and working for yourself because you deserve it and you love yourself and you understand your connection, then it is not slavery but freedom. When you are not working for someone else but for yourself in that higher dimensional way. It is hard for me to find the words, so please let me know if you have follow-up questions on what I have said so far, and let me know if you understand and resonate with what I have said.
Thank you. Makes sense to me. I'll see if anyone else comes up with follow-up questions. The next question might be a bit longer answer. Yumna wants to know, who are the Octarians and how do they assist humanity?
The Octarians are made up of, there are many races within their group and where they reside, but regardless of the race, there are certain ones of them that are very specific and recognizable. They are very humanoid in appearance, and they are knowledge seekers and keepers of knowledge. That is their main purpose. And any of you that have dealt with Akashic records or with any records or information, whether it has to do with technology or any type of information, you quite likely would have come across some Octarian energy at some point. Some of the Octarian group, the knowledge keepers, especially residing within the 8th dimension where all the knowledge is kept, are of the humanoid race, but also of the mammalian water creatures races. So dolphin dolphin type animals also play a big role, as well as whales. And many of the ones that are actually here on Earth are watching and teaching and giving information. So it's not only on land that these things happen, but also within the oceans. A lot of technology around DNA, medicine, and those kind of things have been shared by the Octarians. And Octarian starseeds will usually have a huge fascination with that, and also with healing. Healing not only in terms of a physical three-dimensional way, but obviously also in other more higher frequency, higher energy methods. But the Octarians are kind of like, they have a very wide variety of interests, things that interest them, but very focused on accessing information, retrieving information, sharing information, and their main goal is to enlighten and teach. And in fact, many different beings also visit the eighth dimension. There's what has been referred to as a school, where people can go live on that world, the Octarian worlds, to learn. It's like a training programs where they can learn different things and learn anything, really. So, yeah, they're like the keymaster. Do you have any more questions about the Octarians, or does anybody else have more questions about the Octarians?
I would like to know where the sign-up sheet is for that school.
Anthony, you have spent quite a bit of time at that school before. You may not remember.
I don't remember.
But just as you know, Michelle has spent thousands of lifetimes coming back to Earth and subjecting herself to the challenging scenarios and happenings here on Earth. You have chosen to spend more time out in the cosmos. And many of those times when Michelle came here alone, you were there learning different things. And this is so important. You do also have a lot of Octarian DNA, and the reason being is because knowledge is important to you. And even though you have what you think of as a memory problem, there is just a blockage that needs to be removed, and you will be able to access anything. Part of the memory problems is not so much that you can't access any information, it's just that you can't access all the information all at once. It will be too overwhelming. So it's important for you to become very intentional about what information you want to access, and then focus or hyper focus on that and allow it to come through.
Okay.
So you can retrieve any memory from anywhere, anytime you want to. You do have that ability. And this is also why when you remove that blockage, when you work with your higher self to remove that blockage, you will be able to tap into those records for anybody. You will be able to offer that as a service for people.
Great, thank you very much. We don't have any other questions for Arcturians, but we do have more questions, other things. Okay. Okay, let's move on.
I do want to say one more thing about the Octarians. They are becoming more and more active. Currently, they're definitely not the only race. There are thousands upon thousands of races that operate within or through bodies or holographics, with so many that are operating here are not physically operating within this realm, but are doing it more from without. But Arcturians are becoming much more involved with revealing more and more information. So a lot of the disclosures that are happening, the Octarians have got a big hand in that, and in forwarding and really wanting to work with Gaia to reveal more and more information.
Thank you very much. Melo's got a question about dreams. So Melo asks, what are dreams and how can we best use them?
Dreams are a way of accessing and communicating and traveling to different realms, different places, different, whether it's within your, well, it's all within your consciousness. So whether it is on a more personal level or a galactic level or a other dimensional level, it is a way for you to access anything that you need to know. It is also a way for you to jump out of the three-dimensional. So a lot of people that are experiencing nightmares or those that they are trying to prevent from accessing, they have a lot of information and they're trying to stop those people. This isn't always the case. Of course, anyone can have nightmares. Anyone can be controlled by fear in some way or not. So those kind of lower vibrational dreams are truly because that person is trying to push through to something bigger, but then is being controlled by fear. So dreams are really like a way in which humans usually, most of the time when everything's going well, are in a very, very peaceful state and their brainwave is in the right state to really do what they could do while they are conscious and awake. But so many are really trapped within the constructs that they are in. So it is a direct, if you think about how strange your dreams are sometimes, it's because a lot of the times you're seeing a lot more into fifth dimension in that dream state. The veil is a lot, either a lot thinner or lifted completely. Many people are travel wherever. And again, we say to you that you have the control. You can decide what you want to do while you dream, where you want to go. Sometimes it is best not to travel. Sometimes it is best to stay in your body to rest. It's all about what you need and what, but of course you can also do work and rest at the same time. It's very important that you understand that you have the authority and the control over your own mind and your own energy and your own spirit and what you do with it. As long as you safeguard your vessel and your being in some way, an energetic way is sufficient. So protecting yourself energetically, making sure that you are grounded and that your being is safe. But you can truly set the intention to heal, rest, travel, learn, solve a problem, whatever it is you need to do in that dream state. But you have to set that intention before or just as you're falling asleep. This is very important. And this is also why a nighttime routine, again, it comes back to self-discipline, is so important to allow yourself.
Okay, thank you. I've got a question. Can we control our dreams in the same way that we control our waking hours? So like, for instance, or actually,
Yes.
let me rather say, more control than we have in waking hours. So for instance, I can dream I'm sitting somewhere on a hill and then I decide I'd rather be in Egypt and then also I'm in Egypt and so I carry on. Can we do that kind of stuff as
Absolutely, humans? Absolutely. The only limitations that there are the ones that you place upon yourself or the ones that you allow to be placed upon you. So if you're finding that you can't control your dream, it means there's some kind of inhibitor at play, something that is preventing you from doing what you want to be freely doing, or it is a limitation. So an inhibitor could have been placed there by you, or by a program that you're running, or a program that somebody else has brainwashed you with. But it can all be cleared. It's much easier to clear these things and to move on than people think. Of course, it does require a certain amount of work, or self-work, or emotional work, or things that make some people uncomfortable. But once you can accept those things that that people have been conditioned to find uncomfortable, you will be able to transcend that state, and it won't be uncomfortable. You'll be able to be free, and the more of these programs that you clear, so that you have full control and full access to what you need to do, the better. Of course, there are also safeguards. Some of the controls that have been put are not just there for political power, although that is mostly what we are talking about, especially the fear-based control. But some of the controls also been placed there for your safety, because some people are not ready to do some of the things that they are able to do. And when we say not ready, it means they will harm the earth extensively, or themselves extensively, if we just allow certain people or certain individuals that are too wounded to be completely free, because they are just not ready to play in that way, or experiment in that way. There's definitely still a lot of healing that needs to take place for certain individuals before we feel they are ready. The way that the earth is right now, and the way it's going, it is leaning more and more towards the positive, but towards positive outcomes for the war that's going on. And we definitely do not want to mess with that equilibrium where things are going much more favorably. And as you know, more and more things are being disclosed, more and more things are being revealed, and the truth will all come out. The earth will become prosperous. It will be a wonderful place to live. But we can't just let everybody have complete access and control all at once, because they're just simply not ready for it. They might throw the balance into the negative again, where there will be a lot of dark times, and Earth might be destroyed in the process. And Gaia does not want to let that happen too. So she is also revealing more and more, and she is also taking part in guiding Earthlings and people here, if that makes sense.
Thank you. I think one last question from my side in terms of the dreams. So the hard self-work that you speak of to clear blockages and to do all that, am I right in saying that we could do that within our dreams as well?
Yes.
If we struggle too much to do it in the waking hours?
Definitely. Okay. Definitely. And the starting point might be to learn how to do it first before actually doing it. So even within your dream state, you could go to the place of learning, the place of the Octarians, for example, or just remember what you learned there. Okay. So access those memories, or just get the information. So first going through some kind of program, or getting a download, or a removing of an inhibitor, even, or whatever the case may be for each individual. There's people have got different levels. And each thing is removed as is deemed safe, or as is deemed, as each individual also stops limiting themselves. So there's different things in play.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. It's been such a pleasure to talk with you all, and we are really feeling so much more hopeful and positive, even though there's still a lot of pulling and pushing going on, and a lot of struggles and fighting on many levels, and there'll still be a lot of time, linear time, that will pass before things get where they need to get, but it is starting to move more in the direction that where there will be peace.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Wow, it feels almost to me like we've just started with the channeling. So I'm just trying to come back into three-dimensional reality, because I feel like I'm out there. But wow, it's been an hour. I can't believe it. It really feels like I've been here for only like 10, 15 minutes. So wonderful, everybody. I appreciate for all of you came through, and thank you so much for everybody's support. And I did actually forget, so on a three-dimensional level, I do post every single time in the information below the video. What's it called? The description. I do post a link for my website if any of you want to go and have a look at what offerings I do, or if you want to inquire about my channeling services or anything like that, coaching, whatever you're interested in. So there is a link to my website below. And from tonight, I've also included a link if anybody wishes to make a contribution. I don't expect it at all, but if anybody ever feels that they would like to make a contribution towards my work or anything like that, there is a donation link below as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Love and blessings to all of you. This has been wonderful, and yeah, thank you very much. Go well in love and peace this week, and remember to focus on your journey, okay, and trust yourself. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.